Welcome to another episode of the One of One podcast. My name is Sofia Aguilar and I am your host. Now, a lot of these episodes have been pretty personal, but I promise you, I'm not all that much of a softie. I do have a business mind to me. These episodes have been a little bit mushy, I'm not gonna lie, but this one is going to be very business and strategy driven of how I've operated and ran not only one, but two businesses and have made over multiple six figures with specific strategies. Now, these are very unconventional, uncommon, and not a lot of people have agreed with them because obviously as I sought out business advice, I got the opposite of some of these tips and some of them which I applied. But I want to share these with you because you may not know, but my first business was a dance company where I was a choreographer, an instructor, and a studio owner of the amazing company called Confidence in Movement. We did pivot in 2020 when the pandemic hit and had to shut down our studio. And that's when my pivot into social media strategy and content creation began. And in the midst of both of those business, there was lessons and things that I applied that have led me to where I am now. And when you run a business, I mean, as many of you, this is definitely not advice that you have to take, but we're obviously always looking for some sort of direction. And the reality is none of us know what we're doing. None of us have not the exact blueprint. We are just unsure most of the time and we're just diving in head first. And that's exactly what I did. But a lot of the things were calculated and a lot of the things were just based on what felt right for me in my heart and things that I genuinely enjoy doing. So I'm going to share with you a few of those tips that actually got me to where I am today and hoping that you can take these away, resonate with them, or throw them out the window if you really don't resonate with them at all. So the reality is, like I mentioned, some of these are very unconventional, uncommon, and not spoken about in business. And so that's why we think that it's always going to be easy and there is so much fun in the six figures and it's so exciting. And, you know, being a business owner is all this. The reality is that there's a lot of hard work and a lot of decisions, hard decisions that are made through it. So let me get started. Number one was the power of connection and networking. I knew that when I started my business, that although I knew a lot of people in the dance industry, I probably didn't know as many people as I thought I did. But what I did know is that everyone knew somebody. Same thing with social media strategy. It's like, well, how am I going to help all these business owners create social media content? I didn't know everybody, but I knew one person who knew somebody who knew somebody. And that is the power of networking and connecting online and offline. I did this a lot on Instagram, of course, connecting, liking, engaging, and really asking great questions. But I made sure that I was in specific rooms with specific people. I would go to coffee shops. I would go to local areas, nearby specific locations like malls and business offices and places where my ideal audience would be and would focus on connecting and building relationships because the root of my business is relationships. And we forget that yes, people can see you and you can have 30,000 followers, but who are you as a person? And so it's been pretty awesome that I've known at least most of the people that follow me on Instagram and TikTok because I've personally had an interaction with them or somebody who I met introduced me to them. And the power of that is priceless. Some people think events and networking events are such a waste of time, but let me tell you the power of one person connecting you to somebody they know. And I'm not saying this is like use people, but I'm saying that you never know who you're going to meet or who you're going to be connected with through having one conversation and building a relationship. So that's number one. Number two would be that when I first began my social media content creation and strategy business, I knew that off the bat, I wasn't going to be able to charge what I really wanted to make. Let's be real. And two, I didn't have any testimonials or social proof to prove that I was really as good as I said I was. That's the reality for us sometimes. We get into a business, whether you're an esthetician, a hairstylist, and you just opened up something or a product and nobody has tried it, nobody is reviewing. And so how do you get people to buy? Well, what I did was I launched a beta offer. So I launched a time sensitive offer for 10 people. I got my first 10 clients in September. And it was through telling them, hey, I'm launching an offer just for you. I've chosen you specifically. In exchange, I would love to have your testimonial and just your review on how this helped you. And I'll also give you a discount. And of course, everyone loves a good discount, but the focus of it was the fact that I had nobody to tell me, hey, this service worked. Hey, your systems were amazing. There was some tweaks that you need to make. I needed all of that. I needed that level of review in order to move forward because I knew that I needed to make tweaks. I just didn't know exactly what I needed to do in the client journey. So this really helped me solidify, and maybe you need to solidify ingredients or processing time. Maybe you just need a consumer's perspective. And so that was the focus. I'm not against discounts. I'm not against collaborations. I'm not against providing a service complimentary in order to receive feedback, because guess what? We are all beginners and we all need to start somewhere. Yes, there's money to be made, but once you build really great connections and you find core people in your business that can refer, that can post you online, that can share your business from an authentic perspective, there is more power to that, and that is priceless. Through that beta offer, those clients consistently book me because they knew what the service was then, and they knew the journey of how they helped me kind of build my offer. But also, I did collaborate and connect with some clients who have a really high influence in their industry. And I said, hey, listen, I'd love to create some content for you. In exchange, could you post your authentic review online? And from there, I got about 2 or 3 paying clients and a lot of inquiries and eyes on my page. And for me, I value that. I value eyes, I value leads, and I value connections. And so I knew that, yes, although I just gave about a few videos for free and a few strategies for free, what I got back from that person was much more than I could even ask for, because their audience believes, trusts, and knows them. And so they were able to showcase myself, who they didn't know or like or trust. And through that connection that they have, they were able to build a connection with me. And now they're one of my clients. So the value of connections, again, but also if you see fit, provide some sort of offer, provide some sort of incentive into working with you, and allocate a budget for that. If you have to allocate a budget monthly or yearly for discounts, promotions, and collaborations, do that, because it is an entryway and a portal to an untapped industry and an untapped network that you have yet to go into. Number 3 is the hustle. And nobody talks about this. Nobody talks about the hustle. And I thought that I was odd because I saw all these people say, I'm living a soft life. My business comes with ease. I make more when I rest more. And although that is true, because I'm living proof of it, I thought that things were just going to be easy off the bat. Oh my gosh, boy, was I wrong. This takes grit. This takes hard work and hustle. This isn't something you pick up one day and drop down the next. It needs to be a constant flow of dedication and discipline that you need to build in your business. The ease is going to come. The rest is going to come, but you need to put in the hours first. I think of it as a doctor. I didn't personally go to school for any longer than 2 years, and my program was online. But doctors go to school for how long? Just to get to that level of pay, of benefits, but they still work hard. There's still study hours. They still put in the work. And I feel like we're in a generation where we want to launch something online and get the rewards without putting in the work. That is not going to happen. And I don't know if this is turning anybody off, but for me, it really has been the grit and the hustle and the discipline that has put me together. I've segmented every single day intentionally to connect, to create content, to build relationships, and to sell. That is what your business is about. And unfortunately, we quit our jobs. We quit 9-to-5s to work 24/7. And that is what some of us have to do for the beginning stages to have that level of freedom. I'm grateful that after being able to work and grind for 8 months, I was able to make 6 figures. Now, was it all in actual profit? No, but I reached a level in my business and my social media account where I have a community. I can showcase a portfolio because of all the hours I put in. But some people really expect to launch something and get 30 clients right off the bat to pay them 4 or 5 figures just because they posted online one day and then get discouraged when they don't. No, baby, you got to put in the hours. You want to set yourself apart. You got to do things that people are not willing to do to get results that you've never gotten before, to get results that people have never gotten before. And that's the thing is, do you have what it takes? And being an entrepreneur is hard work. And every single day I'm like, should I go apply for a LinkedIn, position, Indeed, I don't know, something like that. But the reality is there are so many benefits that come with entrepreneurship, the freedom, the peace, the joy, the things that I have accomplished and that I've been able to do has been because I've been an entrepreneur and I've had my own time freedom. But I've also had to put in hustle and grind and work. And so a lot of people don't talk about the hustle and the discipline that it takes. Number 4, I want to say values. When you stand for nothing, you fall for everything. And unfortunately, I have. And even though I stood firm on my foundation with God, there were still things that I compromised because I wasn't standing on business. And I love using that word now. It's kind of like my thing. I say I'm going to be standing on business this year because I wasn't. And so, like I said, when you stand for nothing, you fall for everything. And whether it was with clients or team members that I hired or people I brought around me, my values weren't to the point of being like, this is a non-negotiable. You have to set non-negotiables and values in your business to say, this is what I'm going to put up with. This is the type of client that I'm going to get. This is what we're going to go forward. These are the values in our business. And if this doesn't align with you, that's okay. There's going to be people that it aligns with. And there's going to be people that this is exactly what they have been looking for. But you don't need to compromise your values or your beliefs for clients, for people, for team members, because this is your business. But also where you stand. What events are you going to attend? What events are you not going to attend? What clients are you going to take on? What clients are you not going to take on? What are you going to say and what are you going to show up as? And what are you going to avoid even though the pressure and the hype is there? And so making sure that you stand on a firm foundation, solid of the morals that you want your business to have, because that is where people are going to respect you. If you don't respect yourself in the business, and trust me, I feel like I was over accessible in my business at a certain point where I felt like people stopped respecting me because I was so available. And I realized that I didn't have hours of operations. I was like, yeah, we're open 24/7. No, those are boundaries. Those are set orders of business that you need to have in your business. And I made sure that I did that earlier this year, like very early on to 2023. And that saved my business because I realized that it couldn't go any further without systems, operations, boundaries, hours of operations, values, morals, beliefs that I wanted to have as an entity. And even though I was just one person, or I am one person in my business until I begin to hire, and I would hire and people, I would let them go. And then it would just be this constant thing. And I realized, how am I going to train somebody to have and believe in something that I wasn't even believing in or had in the company? So that is number 4. And number 5, do not neglect yourself, which is so contradictory to like the hustle and the grind and the morals and the beliefs. But the reality is, it is just a business. It is just money. And the reality is nothing good comes from a place of scarcity, lack, fear, desperation. If you are not taking care of yourself and what's important to you, like your health, your family, your friends, whatever those things are, then your business is going to suffer. I saw my health suffer because I was putting in so many hours to either distract myself or to make money, but my health suffered. And I realized that I could have a great booming business, but if the business owner isn't healthy, then the results of that aren't worth it. So what you're putting in is just as valuable as you're putting out. And what you're going to put out is going to be more valuable and more important and more fruitful because of what you're putting in. So don't neglect yourself. Make sure there are times for you. Make sure there are times for your people and family and friends, and let people know. I think the power of being a business owner lies in your ability to communicate with other people, letting them know, listen, this is a hustle season for me. I'm going to be grinding. I'm going to be creating an ebook. I'm filming a course. I'm launching a podcast. This season is hustle mode. So if we don't see each other, and if you see me this way or whatever it may be, this is what it is. But I promise you, let's set something in the calendar for this time. Communication is key. And I'm not the best at it, I'm not going to lie, but with my family, it has been a priority for me because I let them know, listen, I'm filming a podcast. I'm going to be hours in the studio and you might not see me until late, but hey, on the weekend, we can hang out or we'll watch a movie later. Those are things that have been pivotal. So again, I'm not a business guru. It's only been 2 businesses that I've opened, and just to few six figures here and there, but I look forward to being able to provide some sort of substance and understanding to values and beliefs and discipline that I've had to have in my business. And these are just 5 that I wanted to touch on today, but hopefully if you enjoy this podcast, please rate it, subscribe, don't forget to follow and share with somebody. And if this was valuable to you, let me know. Send me a message. I'd love to have a conversation about maybe your business. Maybe you want to launch something or pursue content creation, social media strategy, or maybe you need content created for you. Who knows? But wherever you're listening to this from, I just know that you are one of one. And because you are one of one, you are going to rise, you are going to excel, and you're going to be great at everything that you're going to do, but you need to stand on business. So thanks again for watching yet again another episode of the One of One podcast. My name is Sofia Aguilar, and I'll see you on the next episode.